You are now tuned into Check This Out News. We connect the streets.
Mike Johns here again, iHeartRadio. You know how we do it. Check this out live. And with us today, we got at the Crypto Invest Summit, my man, Chris Cole, man.
Man, appreciate you for having me.
I'm really happy to have you here. And what I wanted to do in this particular piece is kind of talk about blockchain, cryptocurrency, and looking at this whole ecosystem, kind of wrapping up what we saw here at the Crypto Invest Summit. I want to talk with you specifically about diversity and look at the players that we've seen here. Being that this, we know kind of who the dominant people are, second tier. What is your take on what you see in terms of other minorities taking advantage of this space and seeing where the direction is going?
Well, I mean, blockchain and crypto itself levels the playing field for everyone. So the summit was comprised of all nationalities, races, age groups, and different things of that nature. So I was very impressed, by the turnout, with the Crypto Invest Summit being a upper tier summit, so to speak. We got 1,000,001 summits going on across the nation and the country and the globe, as a matter of fact. But the turnout here was very diverse, and I was quite impressed.
Nice. You said something in terms of blockchain, cryptocurrency kind of levels the playing field.
Yeah.
For our listeners, explain that. What does that actually mean?
It pretty much put the power back into the hands of the people. Blockchain, with its transparency, its fat protocols, its scalability across multiple marketplaces, pretty much puts the hands back into the power of the people. The power back into the hands of the people.
Right. What do you see the industry going in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, astronomical, to the moon. So hodl.
I'm going to be more specific. How do you see that impacting underserved markets, minorities, majorities? How do you see, what will this mean for, you're from Georgia, what will this mean for all the different inner cities of Georgia, let alone here in LA?
Well, I think it's going to change the game, in every socioeconomic class. I think we're going to see a huge impact in the emerging markets. If we recall the cell phone industry, how the cell phone industry impacted the emerging markets, now those same cell phone users can now access and become their own bank. Nobody wanted to go in and put in landline telephones into these emerging markets. The digital cell phone era came, dropped the cell phones on them, and we see the same thing from the, in the banking industry.
Right.
They don't do the brick and mortar banks in most of these emerging markets, because the governments and the politics and different things behind it just debase and devalue the currency. So now they had the power to become their own bank right from their cell phones.
So your background has been in the banking industry. You've been doing that for quite some time.
Right.
And so how is your embracement of, let's say, traditional banking versus what blockchain has the power to do? And I want you to also expand on this term, the unbanked. We've heard a lot of that here.
Right.
But for our listeners nationwide, I don't think that they really know what that is.
Right. So my background is in bond futures. So, dealing with the debt markets, having to understand fiat currencies, the current monetary systems and policies in place. It was easy for me to cross over into this crypto digital currency marketplace because of the power and my understanding of just the fiat side of things. So the unbanking, again, going back to the emerging markets, I think that's where we're going to see our biggest impact and the biggest growth with these emerging markets and these undervalued and underserved communities and countries.
Nice. Now, as we're wrapping up the Crypto Invest Summit, what are some of the big takeaways that you got from this show?
Just how fast and how rapid the space is going.
Any companies stand out? Anything that impressed you? From the mind of Chris Cole?
Well, from my mind, it was interesting to see the number of real estate companies that were popping up here. So the ability to invest in real estate via blockchain technology, crypto, and the funds and different things that were put together around the real estate side of things.
That was one of your big takeaways?
Yeah,
here?
Absolutely.
So I want to get the insight from you. I trust in you. Do you think a lot of them, when I look at this industry as a whole, at the stage that we're in, which ones are fact which ones are fiction, which ones are going to be here for the long haul versus, it was just a concept. It was all a dream. Like
I mean, that's kind of hard to say. You brought it to light earlier. A lot of them are cars without engines.
Right.
It's a lot of great ideas, a lot of great concepts in the space. But as far as proof of concepts and track records and different things of that nature, we haven't really seen anybody come out and become the leader. So, in my opinion, that space is still here for the taking.
Nice.
We want to remind you to please like our Facebook page if you haven't already. When you join, you'll be able to receive weekly updated news and events, live video messages, and most importantly, you'll be able to interact with tons of people just like you. So go on that button on top of your Facebook page and give it a click, or interact with us on Instagram. Without each and every one of you, Tech This Out would not exist. We couldn't do it without you. Make sure to repost and share different things you see on our page. The more you share, the better. Be sure to watch previous shows on our YouTube channel, and please subscribe so that you can be notified when we post new content. We really want to connect and hear from you, so please don't hesitate to message us. And to find us online, please go to Tech This Out America on Facebook, Tech This Out on YouTube, Twitter, and all social media platforms. Get whole scope at techthisoutnews.com. We connect the streets.
Now, for the youngsters across the land, I'd say from Compton all the way to Liberty City, Miami,
right?
Why should they get involved with blockchain?
Freedom, period. Nothing more, nothing less. It's all about freedom. Being able to take control over your financial future, build generational wealth, and more importantly, being able to leave a legacy and a foundation and a step for those, that's coming behind you.
So I'm from Chirac, South Side, and
okay.
I want to learn. I'm hearing you, but what do I do? What is the first step? I'm that person from Chirac. I'm that person from Liberty City, East New York. What is the first step that I do? You said freedom.
Right.
So what does that mean? What do I do? Do I go to school?
So no. Well, YouTube.
Do I go to YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube University.
University. Okay.
But just like everything else, it's about the sacrifice that you're willing to make. It's important to you to take on a responsibility to educate yourself, because ultimately you're responsible for the things that you do or you don't do.
You ain't been doing the education.
So you ultimately going to deal with the the pain of sacrifice, or you're going to deal with the pain of regret. The choice is yours.
Now, kind of wrapping up, I understand that there's some new events coming down the pipeline. So you're going to be leaving from here. You're going to Miami, global traveling. Where's the next stop? Yeah,
so I'm headed to Miami tomorrow to handle some more crypto business. May 10th, I'm actually headed down to Puerto Rico for Restart Week. My company, RLT Atwood Group, we're heading up.
That was the plug.
Yeah, that was the plug. We heading up the kickoff party, as well as two or three other main events for Restart Week down in Puerto Rico.
Now, what would separate Restart Week from the Crypto Invest Summit? What's the difference, being that we have so many of these different conferences and it's almost like a blur?
Right.
Why should people head to Restart?
Well, so Puerto Rico has become, I guess you can say, a safe haven, so to speak. They offer all different type of tax incentives and savings and benefits for setting up business and doing business down there. And you see a lot of the crypto whales have migrated down to the greater Old San Juan area down in Puerto Rico as well. So this conference was more focused around the investing side of the space. Restart, we could pretty much cover everything from ICO, staking, mining, trading, as well as traditional investing. Nice.
My last question is going to be a trick question for you. For all the listeners that iHeart reaches, and the demographic is very broad.
Right.
The buzzword right now: should they get involved in cannabis or should they get involved in blockchain? Both are kind of wild.
Yeah. So I would say both.
That was a trick question.
So why not get involved in cannabis backed by the blockchain?
Ooh, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, any other.
How does blockchain impact or sustain the business within cannabis.
Right. Well, I'm not the cannabis expert, so I can't necessarily speak intelligently on the subject. But
you don't smoke a little cannabis?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Smoke weed every day.
Just wanted to know.
Yeah. But from a blockchain standpoint, the ability to be able to track everything that you do from the different type of strands, the marketplace, the products, the Internet of Things as it relates to cannabis.
Could your local D-boy, in the hood, get in blockchain and make his business even more efficient utilizing blockchain?
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. It's all about hip-hop. It's all about crypto. Cryptic message, privacy, security, and different things of that nature as well. So, I think blockchain provides the platform to streamline almost any business.
So, Chris, I want to, for our listeners, if they want to learn more about crypto, learn more about your business, where do they find you?
You can find me at rltatwoodgroup.com, and you can find me on Instagram at ChrisColeIM.
Love it, man. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Check this out, news. We connect the streets. Yeah.